Hi everyone, Jeri Bellini here, coming to you from the tiny house at the beach. Just in case you're new, my channel focuses on aging creatively and gratefully. And a little bit about me, I'm a 68-year-old YouTuber who came back after a 4-year break, and I am here to inspire and encourage you to keep moving. So please create with me and learn something new today. And today we are going to be doing our series, embroidery. And before we get started, I just wanted to go over a couple of things. I apologize for missing last week. My granddaughter, was her birthday, and she called me in the morning of her birthday and said, Mimi, would you come over for dinner tonight? Anyway, I'll tell you more about that story in a few minutes, but it really got my whole week a little crazy. So I couldn't, and I couldn't say no to her. Anyway, so the embroidery stitch, let's get to that. The embroidery stitch for today is going to be the coral stitch, and I did want to talk to you about what I'm stitching on. So if you started with me in lesson 1, I made a scroll, and I'll show you that in a few minutes. I couldn't really work on the scroll because I'm so close to the camera and I only have this little tiny space to work in. So I decided to work on just some patches, and then later on I'll put them together. So that's what I'm doing, in case you're confused, wondering what happened to the scroll. So here's some pieces of cloth that I ripped in 4-inch wide pieces, and I'm just going to work on that, and then, in fact, I think I'll work on this one today, and then I'm going to stitch them down onto my scroll. So yes, today it is raining out, so you might hear some rain coming down on the roof, and of course, you know, I'm in a campground, full disclosure. There's a lot of noise around here. Coral stitch, let's get started on that. Before we actually start stitching, I wanted to give you a little background on the stitch. Typically, when I was researching the stitch, because I wanted to do that so I could tell you a few things about it, typically it's used around applique. We are not going to do applique. We are just going to do the stitch. I have an idea of what we're going to do with it. So one of my pet peeves with embroidery books is that they basically only show you how to do the stitch. They don't tell you what you can do with the stitch. So what I want to do each week is show you how to do the stitch. So I'll do like a straight line of it, and then we're going to do something fun with it. So that's what I'm going to do on this little patch. And my patches are 4 inches wide, and my scroll is going to be like that. So I'm going to flip this around, because with this stitch, this is great. You can work, and I want to make sure I stay in the center. You can work from bottom to top, or you can work from right to left. So it's real easy for a lefty or a righty to do. I'm going to start by working from bottom to top. Each time I do something with you guys, I'm experimenting with threads. So one week I could be using pearl cotton, I could be using embroidery floss, I could be using I don't know what. This week I am going to be using pearl cotton, and I believe I used this the last time as well. And let me talk to you about the needle while we're talking about supplies. So I like a longish needle for this stitch, and I'm not going to use a hoop this time either. And it always has to have a decent eye so I can get my thread in there. And all right, let me get started with this, because I want to tell you about something else that I'm working on, because my needles are getting all mixed up and it's making me crazy. So put a knot in the end of your thread, and we're going to do a straight line and just go up along the side. And then after I show you how to do the stitch, then I'm going to show you how to do something fun here in the middle of the cloth. So I'm going across. Now, This stitch can be varied just by how you space it, by the thread you use, etc., so on. And as I go along, I'm going to be explaining to you different ways to make the stitch look different. But the most basic form of it is you come up from the back, and it doesn't really matter how far you go. It's just going to be personal preference, and it will make the stitch look a little different. So I'm just going to go about 1/4 of an inch so that you can actually see what I'm doing. And you're going, Jeri, will you put the needle in the cloth already? And so I'm going to right now. You're going to take a tiny bite out of your cloth. Now, I told you a few minutes ago, or probably an hour and a half ago, that a lot of the books that I've seen with this stitch, they're doing it around applique. So let's just pretend you were going to do an applique, right? You would have your applique piece, let's just say where my fingernail is a piece of cotton cloth that you're going to applique. You're going to go down right outside the applique, and you're going to come up right into my fingernail, which is your applique cloth, right? And that's how you would applique the cloth down. And see, I got so busy talking that I made a boo-boo right away. So, all right, Jeri, that's what happens when you're older. You just don't think straight. All right, I'm making fun of myself. You know, I'm nothing if I'm not real here, guys. You know that. So let's see. All right, let's rethread this. And by now you've clicked me off. It's okay. I can take it. So now we're going to go in here, and we're going to come out here, and you're going to wrap your thread that came out of the back of your cloth. You're going to wrap it around your needle, and that's why I like the longer needle. You're going to go over the needle and around it and under it. Okay, I'm just going to hold it still there for a second so you can see. I went over and under, and now you're going to pull that without getting caught on the corner of your cloth. And I like to put my finger right there where it came out and just pull it down, and it creates this cute little knot that reminds me of a coral shell at the beach, of course, because I'm at the beach. So let's do that again. Tiny bite. So see, we wrapped it over and under, and you can be a right-handed person or a left-handed person and do this stitch. Okay, put your finger down on the thread and then just pull it. There's another little coral bell. So, depending on how far apart you space, I'm going to do one more approximately the same distance. Wrap, pull, and when it gets close. So, did you see what I just did? I just kind of pulled on that right there, and when I pull on that, it kind of keeps that straight. Then I put my thumb down, then I pulled it, because I want these to be straight. Let's just say we don't want them to be straight. So let's keep going the same distance, but this time we don't want that to be straight. So we're going to take a little bite. Now, if you really wanted to go in a particularly straight line, you could use a pencil and draw on your cloth, because then this will cover it. So if you don't want it to be straight, don't do what I just did a few minutes ago. And you see how this is going down like that? Put your finger on there and look. Now you've got this pretty little loopy thing, right? So here's what I discovered. The more I just take one stitch and not rush through it and just play with it and just keep trying new things and make mistakes, I'm noticing that I'm finding all these interesting ways to make the stitch look different. Okay, so now see that little loop? We're going to leave that little loop, hold on to that, and then just pull that tight. Is that cute or what? Now, let's do something else that's a little different. We'll just go not as far. So I'm going about, I guess it's about 1/4 of an inch, a scant 1/4 of an inch. So let's go real close. And remember, the bite has to stay little. And wrap it around. And we're going to go back to being straight. So if we want this straight, before we pull it tight, we're just going to pull on that loop, put your finger down on it, and pull it. So see how it's straight now? And look how cute it is when there's 2 little coral bells next to each other. Let's do another one. Okay. Okay, wrap it around. You can pull that straight if you absolutely want it to be nice and straight. And you see, that's what Catherine, K3N says. You see? I think she says that. I love her channel. If you haven't watched her, you should watch her. She's fantastic. All right, like that. Wrap it around, pull it. Doesn't hurt to give that a little tug and pull it down. Is that sweet or what? I think it's super sweet. All right, so you see by varying where you're going to put it. So let's just go a little further out. Take a little bite. Remember, over and around. And you want it straight, so you're just going to pull that a little straight and then pull it down. Beautiful little coral bell. Let's do another one quite a distance away. Okay, oops, wrap that around. I'm about 12 inches away from my body. It's the way you have to do these close-up videos, and so sometimes it's a little bit of a struggle to get everything exactly right. So you see how cute that looks? And what did we do? We hardly did anything. We did the stitch, we made it 1/4 of an inch, then we didn't pull it tight, we made a little loopy, then we did it close together, then we did it far apart. Let's do another one. And I'm not even probably in a really straight line. And then I'm going to show you in a minute something else. See? Isn't that cute? All right, now I'll do one more stitch. If you want to go from right to left, if you're right-handed and you want to go from right to left, you have to go from the top. Let's go over here and go down. So basically you're doing the same thing you were doing when you were holding it this way. See? But you can hold it this way. So just see which way feels comfortable. So if you're holding it this way, just remember to make sure that you put the thread around the needle the right way and go like that. And then pull that through. You might find it more comfortable to do that. I prefer the bottom to top. But there you go. Okay? All right. So before I end this off, I want to show you something else. So I'm just going to go to the back. Excuse me. And I'm going to get another needle and thread. I'll be right back. Okay, so what I discovered too with this stitch is you can couch something with it and it looks pretty interesting. So I have a piece of I think this is a number 5 pearl cotton, but you could use whatever. And I'm going to go pretty close to this one. And just, now that I got it in there, I can just put the needle out of the way. And if you want to couch something under there, you can just, because we're going to do this from bottom to top. So I'm just going to come out right next to it, right next to where I just came in, if you can see that. And I'm just going to go a tiny bit, like it's less than 1/4 of an inch. And I took my bite and I'm going to wrap my needle. And look how cute that looks. That's cute. Okay. I just, it doesn't take much to amuse me. So I'm going to take another bite. And it's less than 1/4 of an inch this time. Wrap it. And I used a dark thread, so hopefully we could see it. If you're new here and you haven't been playing along with me so far, I recommended a notebook, and I'm probably going to try to remind everybody about this notebook every week because I think it's important. So write in your notebook some of the things that you can do with this stitch. Now I'm just going to end this off back here. So I was cleaning out my closet last week down here, and I found this really pretty variegated DMC. Yeah, it is DMC, and this is size 5. Isn't it pretty? So I'm going to try to use this right now. And my goal, we're going to do this together, is to make a little bit of a flower here in the center. So I don't know. We'll see. We're going to do it together. So I'm going to come up from the back. I have a knot, obviously, in the back of my thread. And I am going to go around in like a spiral. And I'm just going to chat with you for a couple minutes while I do this. And I don't know how this is going to work, to be honest. I was going to draw something on here, but I decided to just go rogue and just fool around and do it unevenly, and we'll see what happens. It could be horrible and it could be awesome. So getting back to, there's the stitch here, we're doing it right. Getting back to why I missed last week. My granddaughter called me at 8 o'clock in the morning. Well, my daughter actually called me. My granddaughter was in school or going off to school. And she said, Ida really wants you to come, for birthday dinner. So I have a friend. She's an old family friend that just took a spot down here at the campground. And she likes to drive. I don't like to drive. So I said, hey, let's go if you're interested. And she likes to drive. So we went on a field trip. And it's supposed to be 3 hours from here. Or 2 hours, I'm sorry. It's supposed to be 2 hours to my daughter's. It's 3 hours to my house from here. And it took us over 3 hours because of the traffic. But we went. It was really super good fun. I was so happy to see her. And she gets to pick whatever she wants for dinner. She just turned 10. So she picked crab legs, mashed potatoes, and wait, what else did we have? And lo mein. That's what she wanted. Crab legs, mashed potatoes, and lo mein. So that's, and my daughter made corn on the cob. So that's what we had for dinner. And then she got 2 different cakes. She got an ice cream cake, and she got a special cake made. One of her friends, her little girlfriends, her mother owns a bakery, and she made Ida a cake. So that was real. I couldn't even tell you what it was, but it was delicious. So I'm just going to go around like in a circle, and I think it's going to be pretty. We'll see. We'll see what happens. So yeah, it was nice. But when I went back to Pennsylvania, oh my gosh, the weather is so different. It was so stinking hot. I couldn't believe how hot it was. It was like 86 or something, and it was like 60 something here. It was crazy. So you can't actually see the, I'm going to let this dangle for a second because I feel like it's getting twisted. You can't actually see the little coral bells as much with this thread. See what I mean? I have to be careful what thread I use when I'm doing these videos. But because I already showed you how to do the stitch, I'm going to continue on because we're just going to have a little visit. So if you figure, you know, you learned to stitch now and you're good to go, you can just click me off and go practice. Please leave me a comment. And do subscribe if you haven't subscribed before you leave. Do that too. Something that I just learned, for those of you who are still here hanging around with me, this is going to be really pretty. The algorithms are so bizarre with YouTube, and all of a sudden people were saying that my video wasn't showing up in their home feed, whether they were subscribers or not. It just wasn't showing up, and I can't figure that out, honestly. So if you leave me comments and like and subscribe and all that stuff, it does help my channel grow, and I would really, really appreciate that. Really appreciate it. I am going to just fall in love with this like you cannot believe here. I'm liking the way it looks already. So let's see. A couple things that I want to tell you. I have a list over here off to the side. Oh, I know. One of the things, and I didn't write this down on the list, but I started a Ko-fi page. So, you know, some of you know I had tried to do Patreon, and it didn't work for me. I can't even explain to you why. It made me very anxious. And so I had to click it off. And I had quite a few people that, you know, joined me and subscribed and everything. And I appreciate you more than I could ever say. I really do. But it just made me anxious because I'm really trying to give YouTube my all. And I just felt like I was splitting myself. So what I decided to do, to keep it simple, was to start a Ko-fi page. For some reason, I don't know if I'm saying that right, for some reason, it just feels less demanding or intimidating. I'm not really sure. So I did start a Ko-fi page. I am putting up a couple of videos on there, private videos, for anybody who wants to, you know, be a supporter. I'm not going to do anything on a regular basis. I'm just going to put a video up there when I feel like I have something interesting to post that is not going to be the best for YouTube. And yeah, I'm just going to wing it. So it's over there. If you would visit it, I would really appreciate it. Like, really appreciate it. So there's that. There's 2 videos up there already. And no one has watched them yet, obviously, because I just did it. Look how pretty this is looking. It's going to be like a rose. I got a rose for Mother's Day. My daughter, one of my daughters, sent me a bouquet of flowers. And I got it before Mother's Day. And would you believe that, and how long ago was that? Because you don't even know what today is. Today's Memorial Day. So happy Memorial Day. They are still blooming. And it was a long time ago that came. Oh, look how pretty this is going to look. I said that about 15 times. So, yeah, what else? All right. I didn't intend to tell you about the Ko-fi thing. That just kind of showed up in my brain. Ida's birthday was a huge success. Although I didn't have a present for her because it was so last minute. So I said to her, I put my hands over my heart and I said, Ida, open your hands. And I pretended I gave her my heart, giving her all my love. And she took it. She smiled and she said, you don't need to buy me anything. The kid is amazing. 10. So her mother took her to Jamaica for her birthday. My daughter, Jessica, she loves to travel. And so does Ida. They're two little travelers, so they went to Jamaica for her 10th birthday. And my other daughter, Dina, she's my middle daughter, she goes every year to some island or another with her husband's mom. She loves to travel too, so they go together as a family with the grandkids and everything. They go every year, they do something. So Jess decided to tag along and go with them. They had a blast, but they said there was a lot of mosquitoes, so yeah. Oh, look how pretty that looks. I'm going to keep going until I run out of what I was wanting to tell you. So let me look at my list. Okay, so I finally made a book to bury. So I've been wanting to bury a book. I have mentioned this in a couple of videos. You may or may not have heard me say that. And I finally made one to bury. So I told my grandkids, the littles that I talk about, I told them, I'm not trying to make this even, I'm just kind of winging it. I told them, I'm going to do this, blah, blah, blah. They kind of gave me the blank stare, but then I said, do you want to do it with me? You want to make a book? And they said, yeah. So they were busy this weekend, so they playing with their friends. But I was hot to make the book. So let me put this down and show you the book real quick. So I just made it really simple, and I just took a few pieces of recycled cloth. I think most of it's recycled. One of it is quilter's cotton. And I just made a little beach life and then just put words in there. This one you can't even see, it's in yellow. This was the quilter's cotton. And I just really quickly just put a few words of things that, and there's an F there in case you can't see it. Friends, family. Oh yeah, we passed family. Ice cream. Because Brian and I, we like to go to the boardwalk and we get ice cream and we watch people. And that's it. I just made it a couple pages and I just kind of stitched it with a little bit of a, I think that's a buttonhole stitch. I put my name on the back, and tomorrow I'm going to go bury it. I am going to video that. So there's that. And what else? I do want to finish this, but I don't want to bore you to death. My scroll that I made for this lesson is, I'm going to make this a little wonky, is going to be wrapped on a piece of driftwood that I found at the beach. And I don't think I showed it to you. I hope it fits in the, let me check. Yeah, it fits. So I'm going to wrap the scroll around this way. And I just thought it was so pretty. I have not found driftwood at the beach, and I can't tell you how long. But it was early in the season, I guess, before everybody got to the beach and found that. So that's what I'm going to wrap my scroll on. And oh, I know what I want. I got 2 more things to tell you, and then I'll hang up. And you can click me off whenever you want, but that is super pretty. Brian and I are doing another art show next week, and it's called the Strawberry Festival. So you have to try to make this a little wonky. I don't like that it's so perfect. You have to have something strawberry related in your booth. So last year we dressed, I'm not going to say like strawberries, but we kind of looked a little bit like strawberries because we wore red and white. And I made these strawberry ornaments. So that's what I'm going to show you in a second. Yeah, I can't stop doing this. This is so fun. All right, Jeri, put this down and show them the strawberry ornament. Okay, let me put that down. Isn't that cute? Look how cute that is. All right. Here's the strawberry ornament. Isn't it? Here, let me move that. Isn't it adorable? So I used wool. You know, I have a lot of wool and I love wool. And I did it like I do my penny circles. And just cut out, because wool doesn't fray, I just cut out a little thing for the strawberry top, and just I made like, I don't know, 50 of these. And I just put like little French knots there, and I put little white beads for the seeds. And then I made a little tag, Cape May, New Jersey, Strawberry Fest. So I'll sell them in my booth and we'll see what happens. Aren't they cute? Yeah, I did a video on how to make hearts. I think it was around Valentine's Day. So I made the strawberry the same way. If you're interested, you can go back. I'll put it in the up in the corner of the video. I'll put that video there so you could see it. And the last thing I wanted to tell you, and then I'm gonna say bye-bye, is my needles. Remember I said I was having issues with my needles. I'm taking them out of the packages and then getting confused because I'm not a needle connoisseur. I'm going to show you my needles. So you've seen this. You see this is going to be beautiful. I'll take a picture of it after I get it to whatever size I want to get it. But let me put that over there. So during COVID, I started this project, embroidery. And you know what? Hold on. I'm going to show you a couple of them. Hold on. Okay, so first I'm going to tell you about these needles, and then I'm going to show you a couple of these squares that I have here. Sitting off to the side. So, you know, during COVID, we were all going a little crazy. And I came across this woman, Sue Spargo. You probably have heard of her. She does embroidery on wool. And, you know, I love wool. So I bought these needles from her, and I bought her book, too. Let me show you her book. Her book is fantastic. Let's see. Can you see that? Yes. Okay. So I love this book. It's got wonderful stitches, and I'm going to take a few of the stitches out of here as well and show you some of the stitches from the book. But I fell in love with her, and so I ordered her book from her, and I also went on her website and ordered all these needles. Now, don't laugh at me, but I've never taken them out of the containers. Because, and then I have a couple Japanese needles in here too to do sashiko. I want to try sashiko. I'm afraid to take the needles out of the containers because I don't want to mix them up. They're all specific needles. So I said to myself, oh my gosh, you got to do something. And how are you going to keep track of these needles? So what I'm going to do, not what I did, I started to do it and didn't do it. And I know we're very close up, but I took a piece of this, so I hand dye wool, and I'm going to do that. I'm going to show you how I do that when I do it this summer. I hand dyed this wool, and I'm going to cut it into a strip. Well, you're getting your money's worth here, right, with this video. Oh, wait a minute. YouTube is free. So anyway, I'm going to cut it into a strip. I had cut this green piece thinking I was going to use this green piece, but I couldn't find any fabric that I like to go with it. And I like the purple, so I have purple down here at the beach. And whenever I use something purple and I take it home, I always think of the beach when I see the purple. So, long story longer, Jeri. I'm going to make a needle roll, and I'm going to mark what needles they are. I'm going to put it on this thing. I'm going to put a border around this of cotton fabric. Am I still in frame? Yep. And then I'm going to mark on it. I'm going to get a piece of cotton, and I'm going to write with a permanent pen, short darner, size 9, blah, blah, blah. And I don't know. We'll see what happens. But that's what I'm going to do. And I was thinking it would be fun, because I don't think it would make a great video to make this. Excuse me again. But I was thinking it might make a fun live. I was thinking of pressing a button and going live, and just if anybody sees me on and wants to ask me any questions, or we can have a little chat or something like that. I was thinking of doing that. So I'm thinking about it. Anyway, these are some of the things that I started during COVID when I was watching Sue Spargo, because this is a thing that she does. And I never got back to it. But that's what got me going with this embroidery thing. I wanted to do some embroidery stitches with you guys, because there's so many beautiful ways to use the embroidery. Now look how pretty that is. It's so pretty, right? So I know we're very zoomed in here, so you're not going to be able to see this. And I did show these squares before, and these are all recycled wool or pieces of wool that I have dyed. And here's another one. Can you see them? Yep, you can see them. So, yeah, I'm off on a crazy adventure with the wool. I'm going to make a needle roll. And I just have to figure out if I can go live. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to press the live button and see what happens. And, oh, there's beads on this one too. Look at this. This was super fun to make, this stitch. I love that stitch. I don't remember what it was called, though. That's the problem. I don't have a good memory. And so I don't remember what half this stuff is. That's why you need the notebook. All right. I think I've gone on long enough. I'm going to finish this, and then I'll take a picture of it. And I am going to write on here, so it's going to go like this on my scroll. I'm going to write on here what stitch that this is, the coral stitch. And I do hope you try it. And just remember, keep moving, just play. Just play. No rules. And find something to be grateful for today. And I am always grateful for you. And please like, subscribe, share, because the algorithms are doing something to my channel at the moment that is not making me happy. So I would really appreciate you pressing some of those buttons for me. And I will see you again Friday, and I'll see you again next week with another stitch. Bye for now, guys.